finally, back to reaction content. More reactions. Now, many of you know I've been doing videos like this for like 4 to 5 years now. 4 to 5 years of this type of content. I've done everything you can think of. I've even straight up repeated the same idea over again, and a lot of people notice that. I've made hundreds of AI-only battles in this game alone, and even more if you include some of the other strategy games I do. So therefore, I've pretty much done everything you can do here. There are very few things I have yet to make a video on. But this TNO mod, the New Order, is probably the one exception. This is like in that 1 percentile of things that I have yet to do. So the year is 1962, and we had an Axis victory in WW2, but not a complete victory. And that's why I think this mod is so popular. I think that's why this mod is actually pretty interesting. It feels like it'd be a lot more likely. I've done so many scenarios where the US is divided up between Japan getting the Pacific states and then Germany getting the East Coast. Maybe there's like a little bit of resistance inside of the heartland. But I've always felt like the Axis actually getting into North America and having a successful invasion across the globe, I felt like a little bit of a stretch. So in this universe, we have the last of the democracies, or the Organization of Free Nations, trying to stop the rest of the world from being taken over. The only part of this map that I'm kind of surprised by is to see that Japan didn't take over Oceania. Like, really? It's 1962. They would have had like 20 years. But it looks like Imperial Japan was probably dealing with some internal issues. They still like the no-no ideology, but things are starting to change a bit. 25% of their country is independence. They have this anti-mainstream conservative movement, and then the conservative mainstream. Oh, what the hell? There's actual national socialism in this country now. The Germans are rubbing off. We got old man, skinny mustache man, looking like he's probably gonna get oofed soon. I have no idea what's gonna happen in this mod. I'm going into it completely blind, but I would assume they're probably gonna maybe have some internal problems. It's not all a nightmare though, because Spaghetti Man has successfully achieved his dreams of bringing back the Roman Empire. Kind of. But actually, Spaghetti Man isn't here anymore. We have whoever this dude is. Oh, he's the son-in-law of Benito. Okay. He might have to crush this uprising of authoritarian democracy in his country though. I'm really starting to question what these countries that weren't taken over in Europe had to do to be left alone. Like, I'm sure they have to have been forced to do some horrible things. I mean, I don't know for sure though. Scotland is a liberal democracy. I wonder if they use the old Sweden tactic and let the Germans use their railroads. Now, the most disgusting part of this map is obvious. That wooden Soviet door was clearly kicked in by the Germans, and it completely shattered the whole region. It's actually really disturbing to look at. I'm just gonna try to stay away from this part of the map. The most hilarious part though is that South America hasn't changed at all. It's all perfect. I mean, I'm sure if I actually went in a little bit deeper, maybe there is some changes to the leaders or something. But I mean, yeah, South America. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Skinny mustaches might just be in. Ramon Morales in Honduras. It all finally got it to be a fashion trend. It's actually not that skinny, but I'm just saying. What? Oh, never mind. I was like, why is Richard Nixon leading Puerto Rico? All right, so the US still has Puerto Rico. Nixon is in office in 1962. That is earlier than our own timeline. So Nixon won the election. JFK, what is he? Is he vice president? I don't even know. The Kennedy plan. Please don't tell me they JFK'd him again. The only thing going on in Canada is native reservations in poor condition, and Quebec is doing bad things. All right. Germany was also victorious in the space race against all odds, and while America and Japan have attempted to push the race further, this monumental victory for Germany will never be forgotten. So as you can see, we kind of have a Cold War going on between the US, Germany, and Japan. And I guess if you want to include Italy too. Oh, whoops, I forgot to address the elephant in the room. Why does Italy look like this? I think they did the plan where they dammed the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, they did. I like that they didn't go too far with it. I know when I did a video about this same scenario, I made sure the entire Mediterranean and Black Sea was gone, which is obviously really ridiculous. Did Africa get nuked into oblivion? What happened to all these countries? Oh, this is just an anarchy area. Well, that's fun. There is still one democracy left in Africa, and it is obviously the Union of South Africa. They haven't chosen to join America yet though, and I'm assuming that's to keep them still surviving. Here we go. Here's the first fight to start. Something is going on in Asia, it looks like. So we basically have this former Mongolian territory that now Japan controls going after the People's Revolutionary Council, which is authoritarian socialism, led by some Russian guy. Okay, let's go. So it looks like there still are members of the Red Army in exile. They've just been hiding away in Siberia. That actually explains why this is still such a mess, because who's gonna want to go in there and fight all of them like this? What the hell is Taco Nation doing? Social democracy. Obviously, they're not a part of the US faction just yet. Oh, we'll have to check on them a little later, because the Italian Empire has just declared on Yugoslavia. Oh, I was just about to say, I didn't know Yugoslavia was still around, but not really. Yugoslavia is just like a janky Croatia. Whoa, what happened to the Italian faction? So the Italian faction disbanded, and now we're gonna have a bunch of nations probably fight each other. Yep, that's exactly what's gonna happen as Turkey has done their own invasion. Whoa, Mr. Cool Guy in Arabia, chill, bro. Save some of the ladies for the rest of us. Whoa, I'm not gonna be able to handle all these Chads. This guy's in Egypt. Oh my god, I almost forgot. Guess who's in Iberia? But he did manage to somehow form the Iberian Union once again. So he created this with Portugal. They're actually not looking too bad. They got a bunch of Western Africa. I'm really proud to see this big, sexy Finland here. They finally got something for all their trouble. Wow, the Germans were just dealing with severe student protests. Something about no Germany and students. Terrifying. Oh, so yeah, I'm assuming everyone has nukes at this point. We're currently in DEFCON 3. DEFCON 1 is when it gets real bad. Didn't even realize that the Americans occupied Iceland, and the English are uprising. Oh my god, there was something called the Hawaiian Missile Crisis, and now the US has gone after Guyana, which is actually really nice and big over here. Wonder if that missile crisis had anything to do with the fact that Hawaii is actually Japanese in this scenario. Kind of wanted to check on what Germany and Japan think of each other. I mean, they don't like each other, but it's not that bad either. Obviously, Japan and the US really don't like each other though. Weirdly, the US is, again, kind of okay with Germany. Well, Germany wasn't the one to take Hawaii, so maybe they don't have as much of a grudge. United States has called in their big bad ally of Belize. Whoa, be careful, you don't have to bust out the big guns. So it looks like if the English had any colonies in the Western Hemisphere, they did automatically join the Western faction, the US faction, which includes the Falklands. Not sure how Argentina feels about that. Don't do it, Argentina, don't try to take it. Oh, we got Turkestan now entering the action. A lot of fighting going on now, which by the way, I've only announced the fighting that has occurred during the course of this video, but there was actually a couple of things that were happening before the timeline started. Oh, somehow the People's Revolutionary Council also escaped with their lives. I don't know how they did that. Really love how these super northeastern Siberian countries just have a picture of like an igloo. Or something, a hut. I don't know what that is, but that's what it looks like to me. Obviously, Guyana lost their war with the US, and they were forced to join this faction, so probably not a terrible move. I guess they're just gonna have to force people to join in by, like, invading. Interesting American strats there. Also, when did this crater form inside of the Congo? It looks like some sort of growth. We got a Madagascar battle royale, or at least almost a battle royale. All those penguins, they're all fighting each other now. Kinda interesting that the Japanese are allowing this puppet state to be an authoritarian democracy. It sounds to me like a pretend democracy. Some weird happened in Madagascar. It is not united, but these two nations aren't fighting with each other, and they're both authoritarian democracies. Although, one dude is, I think I know what's going on here. I'm just not sure if I want to say. Once again, F in chat for Yugoslavia. They've been turned into Croatia, and of course they are a puppet to the pizza nation. Pretty cool sounding name, the Siberian Black Army versus the People's Revolutionary Council. These are socialist governments fighting among each other. Why are you doing that? And we do have at least one democracy in the former Soviet lands. This is a conservative democracy. Germany has declared on Germany, which means Mustache Man is gone. Oh, wait. It's not just one Germany. It's multiple Germanys that are popping up. Also, the French state is getting invaded. Oh, okay, why is all this happening now? That was a stupid question. We know why it's happening. The other leader is gone. Everything is broken apart. It's 1963. And this is the perfect time for the English to rise up. And there it is. That didn't take long. All right, so Europe is hitting the fan. I guess that's why the title of this is called The Last Days of Europe. Ah, it all makes sense now. Let's go, Poland. You can make it back into space, or at least take back your old territory. Just get some space first. All right, the fighting is just not stopping. Basically, everyone that was in the former Axis is just going after each other. We're also on DEFCON 1, boys. DEFCON 1. So Burgundy immediately peaced out with France after getting a bunch of territory. They're also following the Burgundian system, which I believe is that a monarchy? Oh God, not Himmler. No, Africa, no! You were the chosen one! I thought you were the one to keep democracy alive in this continent. Well, I guess they still technically could. It's just not looking good. Ah, yes, Diet's land, where they only drink diet soda. Now, I don't see any massive explosions down here, so are people avoiding using the big bomb? Wait, is this in South America? Don't tell me there's something actually happening in South America. Oh, nope, got my hopes up too soon. That is here in North Africa. Well, at least that's something. Hey, look, Poland did it! Not a massive Poland, but hey, they'll take it. Also, I believe Greece has now converted back to authoritarian democracy. They were something else before, although maybe they shouldn't have done that. Looks dysfunctional. So now the world is pretty much just led by 2 different factions because all of Europe's have collapsed. I'm assuming they're all gonna get choices to start forming their own factions, and then there's just gonna be a big old mess in this continent once again. Oh yes, the French state is led by a chair. Good, explains why this is happening to them. It's been years and I still make dumb jokes about the portraits if you couldn't tell. Oh, there's no more anarchy in this part of Africa. We've got air, which I'm gonna really try hard to not make a stupid pun joke. No promises though. Free France is down here. Maybe Milan can get a super rich person to take over most of the world economically again. That'd be a nice throwback. Like at this point, a 500-year throwback, but you know, it still works. Whoa. When did this happen? I was not informed of this. How did this happen? And something is moving out of Siberia, the divine mandate of Siberia. The igloo nations rising up. I was about to say, how long was it gonna take me to realize the Great Lakes were deleted? No, the Great Lakes are not deleted, but this is really confusing. England is declared on Cornwall. Wait a second, did England get their freedom back? Yes, they did, and they're led by none other than Thatcher. 1964, she's gotta be young, right? Oh my God, this is the perfect cameo. She was born in 1925, so in 1964, she'd be 39. And she is slowly getting her stuff back. She got Cornwall. I'd be very worried, Scotland. Scotland's like, oh no, not again. Well, same thing for Ireland. Ireland gonna be back to their old tactics, huh? And Göring's Germany has won, as they are probably going to take out Bormann's Germany. But he's still following the same ideology. Some of them were not necessarily the same. All he has to do is Anschluss Austria, and he's good. A new team has formed in Germany. Let's see who joins in on that. Not even going to try to pronounce that. Dang, poor South Africa. That doesn't look fun. Wait a second. How long has Serbia been fighting itself? Has it been going on the whole time? Uh-oh, Nixon has lost, and he has lost to John W. McCormack. Oh, I actually think that Nixon got impeached or something. Wow, that last dude did not last long. It's already Lyndon B. Johnson's turn. You know, I'm just glad that this area is kind of starting to fix itself. It doesn't look bad, as bad at least. There we go, Indonesia fighting itself. I'm assuming Japan's gonna want to get in on this. So free Indonesia is a liberal democracy, and then obviously Indonesia starts off under Japan. They're not gonna be a liberal democracy. Oh wait, what? When did they leave? They were part of this co-prosperity sphere, weren't they? I bet you there's gonna be some troops sent to support either side though. Oh, that's why South Africa is still alive somehow. They're being supported by the US. Well, they were alive. I don't think for much longer though. And just as I say that, they peaced out. Somehow South Africa still has their freedom. They did lose stuff though, right? But they joined the Americans. So the Americans are slowly getting new members. They have a lot of work to do though. Will Thatcher join their side? Uh-oh, Ireland joined the other side. How did Ireland do that? I guess the Irish were allied to this side of Germany that won. Maybe that's what happened. And Japan continues to lose new members. This time all of China. How did they lose all of China? Republic of China and the National Protection Army are actually after each other. Maybe after these conflicts end, they'll join back, depending on which side wins. The Soviets are back, baby, and they're looking okay. They might need to possibly attack the Central Siberian Federation, because they definitely don't want to attack Japan yet. That didn't go well for them back in like 1908. This government's actually libertarian socialism. Raise the Lenin flag. Is that going to change though? Oh, their flag is going to change. I see. Whoops, I totally forgot to talk about Fidel. I saw Fidel in the very beginning. My bad, Fidel. He's just chilling alone. I don't know if anyone cares about him. Actually, weirdly, the US likes Cuba, but Cuba doesn't like them back. I don't know why that's happening. I mean, I guess it makes sense. In this timeline, socialism is the least of their concerns. Whoa, but maybe things are gonna change because now we have an Irish socialist government coming up. Oh, and then there's the fighting. So is Germany gonna do anything about this? Oh, I see. They end up leaving the faction while they're fighting something, but then they join back up once it's over. Which means if the right side wins in Indonesia, they'll be back on Japan's side. Wow, that Irish rebellion got crushed quick. Russia's also back as a despot, the sovereignty of Western Russia. They might be continuing to eat up all these smaller nations next to them. Whoa, wait a second. Indonesia has finished their fighting. They are now just despotism. They're now just a despot. They did not rejoin the co-prosperity sphere. I don't even remember if they were in it before, I think. This African nation has united. Now they are following the Burgundian system, which I guess is actually like an off-branded no-no German party. It really revolves around Himmler. Himmler, are you gonna do anything or just chill? Yo, Bosnia, what's up with that flag? Hold on, Bosnia, what happened here? Very strange world if that wasn't obvious. I like how socialism kind of came back at the very end, and it was probably only gonna continue to get more and more popular as time went on. I kept waiting for like the US to win this universe, but at what cost? I mean, eventually eventually they would defeat Germany, or Germany would collapse, or they would defeat Japan, or Japan would collapse. But all the while, slowly, they would be ticking more and more into that extremism. You know, just dipping their toes, until at the very end, it's too late. I mean, something was definitely going on in the country, because 10% of Americans are authoritarian socialists, and then 24% authoritarian democracy. So I was just waiting to say they've won, but at what cost? And big thanks to the January patrons: Ballin' Like Stalin, Aryan After Hours, Easter123, Elijah Senpai, Epi Nick, Fusion Wolf, Julius Cheeser, Lennon Lover 419, Luxembourg Lover, Mac, Manny 74, Space Period, Patrick C, Polovsky, Roll C Tree, Stormtrooper 501, and Cloven. Thank you. Link to the Patreon is in the description down below.